Velcro
Oh
Mary
my
turned
God,
on
I'm
video.
sideways. Holy shit.
I love that you were yelling the second that it turned on, though. We're here today to talk to you, Jason of Velcro Mary, about the remix that you did for our Lorenzo's Remixes Volume 2 album. So first of all, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm doing okay. It's a nice day out, sunny. So too hot. Come on, you're one of those?
Yeah.
I hate winter. Actually, where are you located again? I can't remember what.
I'm in North Carolina and the Charlotte area. So.
Okay, I guess it gets kind of hot there.
Oh yeah, yeah, hot and humid.
Yeah.
It's pretty rough. I try to stay inside most of the day.
Just don't even go out. That has nothing to do with the weather. You're just a recluse and you don't like to be out. You just wear a hood over yourself.
Yeah, I mean also that. So.
So, all right. So I want to talk to you. You did a remix of our song "Friction" called "Quest." Now,
Yes.
I want to talk about the process of this. I want to learn from what you did on it, and also to compliment you on a great remix that you did. So, one of the first questions I have is the beat that you did.
And all that time. And all that time.
So it's a program beat, but like, what did you build that in? Did you program it by hand? Did you have an electronic drum kit? Like, how are you making the drum beats?
First of all,
Yeah.
could you please share with me the reactions within the Lorenzo's music camp to what was the reaction amongst the group when you guys heard my remix? Because I honestly was like, they're probably going to hate this.
Really? You thought that?
Yeah. Oh,
No, not at all.
Well, I mean, I just, what's the word I'm looking for? I wasn't, I mean, I just like tore that song apart and
I know.
yeah, I mean.
But that's a good thing.
Yeah. The symmetry of it didn't work for me. So,
Okay. Wait. Oh, I see. You're criticizing my songwriting and saying you could do it better. That's what you're telling me.
Yes, kind of, but no. I mean,
I see where this is going. Okay.
So, well, I mean, you're practically the only thing left of the original song, and even then, I've chopped up your lyrics, retuned your melodies.
Yes, yeah.
Changed the song structure a little bit. So, I mean, I took so many liberties. I mean, the bass is gone,
that's a remix.
the drums are gone. There's like teeny tiny amounts of the original guitar and horns.
Orange. Yep. No, that's a remix. I mean, the classic example of remember when remixes became a big thing in the 90s? There would be the end of the album had a remix of one of the songs on it, and they would have a guest remixer at the end of the album. Big thing in the 90s. One of the pioneers of that was a Butch Vig remix. Was always like a huge deal. And his process was basically you get rid of everything except the vocals and start from scratch. That's the way that he defines remixing. And that's basically what you did. Yeah.
I'm exactly like Butch Vig.
Yeah. That's what I've been saying, man.
That is literally the process. So, I mean, I'm sure it works differently when Nine Inch Nails goes out and secures people to remix their songs.
Right.
There's financial stake involved. You know.
That's a tough one too, because there is a classic Head Like a Hole remix album that has 29 versions of the song Head Like a Hole. And to tell you the truth, some of them are really just instead of this drum sound, I used this drum sound. Like like one will be a slate mix and one will be stone mix, and really he's just going by different sounds. I think it's just he kept every iteration of his pass at the song and then released it as a remix album, because the whole thing is still the same across the board. But okay, so first initial reaction, what you were saying, mine was, and when I listened back to it, it was wrong, but I'll explain why it was wrong. But when I first heard it, and this is what I like, the beat that you made, while it's a programmed beat, and this is why I asked if it was programmed or played, is because it has a swing to it. There's a swing to it that's not normally capable in a drum machine. And my first reaction was, and maybe you'll know this reference, it reminded me of the song Lucas with the Lid Off. Are you familiar with that song? It
Who does
was
that? That
his
sounds
name's Lucas. It was a one-hit wonder. It was during the time of like Unbelievable by EMF. You know, like all those bands had the singles out and they were
and
dance
that was the
things.
name of the song, is Lucas with the Lid
The
Off?
name of the song was called Lucas with the Lid Off, and it's a song that's a dance song, but it's drum beats, a hip hop drum beat done over an old 1920s like Chattanooga song. And
Oh, okay.
when you listen, so it had that swing to it. But the thing is the drum beat was straightforward. It was the Chattanooga? No, Charleston. That's what I'm trying to say. Charleston beat that that your song has. So yours has kind of like a 1920s, 1930s sort of swing to it, and I really liked that. So how did you create that beat? That's what I wanted to know.
Okay, so I started with the vocals, like you said. I listened to the stems multiple times,
Mm-hmm.
and based on what I could do with the stems as they were, that kind of limited me, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Could be a great thing. I like working with limitations, but
Yeah.
like for example, like the guitar track is a stereo track with multiple guitars, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
playing at the same time. So if I just wanted one of those guitars, I just couldn't do it. So going through that, I was like, and having just the world of possibilities, I could do anything I wanted. One of my original ideas was I was just going to play it on top of Stairway to Heaven, so that
Yeah.
just to make it unreleasable and to be a dick.
We still would have done it. I would have released it. That would have been great to get sued by them.
Yeah, it probably would have been great publicity.
Exactly.
But so I was like, all right, I'm not going to use the drums. I'm not going to use the bass. I'm not going to use the keyboard. All right, I got to start somewhere because I kept trying stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
I thought, oh, this is neat. Oh, I could do this. I could do that. I could do anything I want. There was going to be like a 30-minute version of this song at one point.
Good
I was
Lord.
going to sing on it at one point. I was going to play guitar. Most of all those ideas got scrapped. But so I started with the vocal. I ran it through the vocoder effect that like made it even more mangled.
I went back for the past. I came up all too fast.
Speaking of the vocals, would have loved a clean, dry vocal. If you could do
Mhm.
that next year,
Okay.
so that we
So
can.
create a different track for the vocals is what you're saying. All right.
Wish list for future remixers, and I'm sure again other people on board with me would be just give me one clean, dry vocal separate that's synced up with everything. Clean guitar tracks would be good, just separated tracks that we could
I'm
slice
trying to
and
remember
dice.
if I did have effective vocals on it.
I went back just the same, but feel it get further away.
Or if it's because I also
Oh
sing
yeah,
through
there's
a harmonica
verb
mic.
and delay. I actually
Oh,
ran
verb and
the
delay.
vocals
Okay. You're right.
through
That song
something
does have delay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I tried to deverb it as much as I could with plugins. So I like tried to take stuff off and then fed it back into a vocoder and
You should have
then
just
tuned that
contacted me, man. I
vocoder.
could have given you a track like that.
I was going
Okay.
to,
All
I
right.
said,
I get what
nope,
you're saying, though.
these are the limitations. This is what I'm going to work with. So to get to
Gotcha.
your beat,
Okay. All right.
the beat, I work in Logic, Apple Logic. So I
Oh,
use
all right.
their, last time we had a podcast together, I was telling you a little bit about this, but they've got drummer tracks. They've got different tracks. You can do it with, in fact, I used all of them actually. I used
Oh.
drum, bass, and keyboard for that. And
So
basically,
okay, the bass sound was from that too. Okay.
yeah.
All
So,
right.
and Apple's they kind of have like these parameters where like you're like, oh, I want it to be like a hard rock drummer, for example. And
Mm-hmm.
then so it gives you like a default kit and some default beats and you can play with it all. And so I think I started with, well, one thing I do a lot, I do this in my own music as well, is I will get a beat from one of those drummer tracks and then take it to somewhere totally different, like genre-wise, as far as the kit goes. Like
Yeah.
I might start with like a rock kit and then take that, bounce it down to MIDI, and then take that MIDI track to another track, and then figure out all the drums differently. And that's what I did with your song. So I came up with a beat by tweaking the Apple drummer over and over again until I kind of got what I wanted. Got something that I thought fit the song well. Actually, kind of hit like a Will Smith song for a little while.
Yeah, a little bit. I get that. Yeah, like I can't say it all of a sudden. DJ Jazzy Jeff. Wow, that is hard to say. Jesus. But yeah, I could see that. That could be that swing that I'm talking about too, because he did have kind of a swing in most of the beats that he used.
There's a little bit of a you can adjust the swing like any drum machine.
Yeah.
So I think I had some on that, but it was I once I had the beat and put that on MIDI, and there's so many different percussive elements in that. And when I then went, I started with, I built that kit like totally custom from it's mostly drum synths. I think there's a couple samples in there, but it's mostly like a drum synthesizer. And so I would go in and like, all right, let's get the bass and the snare right, get those. And then I would just like each sound, like maybe it's the closed hi-hat. I like, all right, let's tweak that. And so I kind of just messed around until I got something that sounded good and interesting to me, and I hope somebody else would like it. So.
Yeah. No, and so the bass sound, or first of all, the keyboard sound, do you remember at least what setting you had for the keyboard sound? Because I really like that tone, and I'd kind of like to recreate it.
So there's a couple. Are you talking about like the sound that comes in the intro, like the electric piano?
Yeah, the electric piano. What one? Because I've been trying to find a good electric piano sound.
That. Yeah, let's see. Here's my session. So according to this, it's a '70s funk clav.
Oh, so it is a clav. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a clav, but it's the '70s funk part is really standing out in yours, and I did dig that. Now, while you have that open, let me ask you another one. This is actually going to be my next question. The middle section, where there's kind of a breakdown, the bass kind of turns into a buzz bass. What did you do there? Because I really like that part.
That's fucking awesome, isn't it? I love that part. It's a bit pressure. It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that part was tricky. I kept playing with that, and I think I sent you a snippet of that at one point.
Yeah, you sent me. Sent me that over Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah, my manic messaging. Oh, sorry if I screwed you up.
No. Actually, you'd be surprised from the things that I do and the people that I work with. Manic messaging is not a different thing for me. I'll get people who will message me at 1 a.m. I'm like, yeah, I'm up. Like it's no. I get all kinds of different types of messaging. I'm very used to it. Now, another thing too is you mentioned you ran the vocals through a vocoder. Now, I want to point out the fact that not only did you mainly just use the vocals, but you also basically rewrote my lyrics.
I went back just the same, but feel it get further away. I went back for the best. I came up all too fast.
I did.
And I dug that. That actually had to have taken more time than just what you did. So you switched up different lines. You're kidding. Okay, so tell me, what was the thought process behind doing that?
You tell me first. What is this song about, Tom Ray?
The song is actually, this particular one, it's hard to say because it's a themed album. The entire album is built off of one song, actually one chord progression. The entire album is in a chord progression in A that goes down. And we decided the concept would be, what if we rewrote this song 15 times? in different moods as if it was a soundtrack to a movie. So each song kind of progressively goes through that. And Friction Called Quest itself is one called Friction Called Quest because when we first jammed on it, the beat that we started out with and what I was doing on the piano kind of reminded me of Lyrics to Go by Tribe Called Quest. So that's, I just called it Friction Called Quest because all of them were codenamed Friction something.
Yeah.
It kind of went on from there and became a heavier song. But as far as that song, I'm hoping that me describing working up to this song, I will try and remember what the lyrics mean. So it's, I went back just saying, feel it.
I write songs too, Tom. I get it.
Oh, it's about going somewhere. It's about going somewhere and basically going to meet someone and finding out that it's over, and then the long drive home. That's basically all about what the lyrics are.
I don't remember if that's what I thought it was about, but that sounds pretty close. Because I do remember, you know, I went through the list of songs until I got to one that I was like, I can do something with this. I feel pretty confident. And that was, that was probably like the second or third song in your list, but I didn't have to go very far for inspiration. So I listened to it multiple times and to try to get and I did kind of one time, you know, kind of form like a visual, you know, image of the story going on.
All right.
But when I wrote out the lyrics, they didn't connect to me personally because they seemed...
Man, I'm just disappointing you across the board.
No, I mean, that's not a disappointment, Tom. You wrote the
I
song.
know.
How is the song you wrote going to affect me in the exact perfect way? It's not going to. It's okay.
Right. Yeah.
But so the way you sing it though is great because you break every line up into two parts. So I just wrote it into two columns and played mix and match. It's like, I think these words go better together than these ones. And so
no, I like that. That was really cool.
I connected those in ways that made more sense to me, seeing how I was just butchering your song and taking all meaning from it. What is there? There's like there's some like famous philosophical question about the boat. It's something you've probably heard this in some form or another, but it's like a famous ship that gets replaced piece by piece, and at the end, like there's no original pieces of the original vessel. Is it still the same boat?
Huh. I've not heard that,
what I
but
kept thinking
I get what you're
about
saying.
in the song. And I never took a philosophy class, so I don't know if there's an answer to that riddle, and I'm too lazy to Google it. But that's what I thought about a lot.
But yeah, you will use it in conversation.
Yeah, I'll talk about anything, Tom. I don't need to know anything about
That's right. No, I'm the same way. I'll use words that I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing correctly or if I'm using them in a correct manner. So I do that all the time. No, but I really did like the chopping up the lyrics. And also, it's very much like that's what our writing style is. A lot of it will be, we'll record some stuff.
Did you catch it right away that I had changed the lyrics? Or
yes, yes, I did.
Okay.
Just because I'm the person singing them. So in my head, you know, you're miming it along in your head. And then I'm like, wait, that's not the next line. And then I'm like, oh, he's continuing to do this. And I'm like, that's really cool. I dug that. I dug that a lot. And it gave it a whole different mood. I really liked that. Also, I'm not precious with my stuff that I make at all. I mean, to tell you the truth, probably a quarter of the songs that we do, we change absolutely, like do a complete 180 on them, like maybe a week or so before we release them. Like that's literally like sometimes we'll be like, you know what? That's not right. Let's do it this way, and then we'll release it. Because if we don't release it, we're going to keep messing with it. So, yeah, no, I love when people do extreme things with it. There's another person I'm going to be talking to pretty soon who not only did he just use my lyrics, but the backing tracks that he used or the instruments that he used for it were from a different song entirely. So so that one's going to be interesting too. But yeah, I liked absolutely what you did with it. From the swing sort of drums, the bass sound was phenomenal. The keys were really cool. Yeah, the bass was a really great sound. It's got a good slide in there and everything, and I'm assuming that also has to do with what you were doing in the setup on Logic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Again, that's an Apple-based drummer that then I tweaked the MIDI. I did a lot of manual tweaks to that MIDI to get it to do what I wanted, and then did all sorts of stuff to the bass sound and ran. I think every track's run through like a tape saturation plugin that I got, and was like, hey, I'm gonna put this on everything,
Yeah. And
like you
you
do with your
also,
plugins.
well, and you also have, and this, I want to ask you one more thing before we go. There are occasional like swooshes and swell noises. And did you put those in as you were going along, or afterwards did you kind of go, this part here needs some, but they'll just kind of come in lightly in different spots on the song? Like, what was your process for adding those extra noises?
Are you talking about like the reverse reverb effect on the vocals in the second verse, or is it something
No,
else?
it's something else. There's literally sometimes it'll just be, or something like that, just like transitioning from one part to the next. Or maybe I'm just hearing something. I don't know. Do you see anything? It sounds like maybe I am mishearing something that you had used.
The one thing that it may be is in the second verse, there is a reverse reverb
Always tried, nothing more. Sent away.
put on the, like I
Okay.
think the first line of two or three lines. I forget exactly off the top, but that
So it
was
is more of a residual effect rather than an instrument that you were adding in, or
well.
something.
That was so no. That I mean, I did it manually. I'm sure there's probably ways you can do this easy, but I would reverse your vocal, put a big reverb on it with a long tail, bounce that down, just the reverb tail,
Mm-hmm.
flip that around, chop it
Oh, you do
off,
it twice.
and move it to the front. So you get the reverb is backwards, so you get like the very first consonant sound, kind of like zooms in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping I'm
Okay.
describing it well for the two watchers, which I think are us.
Well, we get replay views. It'll be all right. But no, okay, so that's probably what I was thinking of. I mean, I'll have to go back and I'll message you if I think of like, no, I was talking about, because off the top of my head right now, without listening to it, I can't point out what part I'm thinking of. But that doesn't matter. What matters is that you did this, and I want to thank you for doing it. It was actually really cool, and I liked it a lot. And also, do you have anything you want to mention before we head out today? Anything you have coming up? Any projects you're working on or stuff like that you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, go listen to Velcro Mary. They're great. I hear they're fantastic. I did have a question for you, Tom. One
Yeah.
last question.
Yeah.
And I hate asking people about their band names,
Okay.
but does Lorenzo's music have anything to do with Back to the Future?
Back to the Future, no.
Okay.
How would it be in Back to the Future? So it is Garfield, the voice of Garfield, Carlton the Doorman, yes. It is not the movie Lorenzo's Oil. But how is it Back to the Future? I know Back to the Future.
I'm sorry. What did you say it was?
It's the voice of Garfield. Peter Venkman, Carlton the Doorman, Garfield the cat.
Okay.
It's the guy that does the voice for them. He's also the creator of the Bob Newhart Show. His name was Lorenzo Music, and we put the apostrophe because his lawyer heard about our band name when we were originally called Lorenzo Music, and they sent us a nice little letter going, hey, we heard you're using his name. And we went, no, we're not. And we put an apostrophe S on it. So.
All right. Well, I've got an
ever since.
alternate story that you could use if you.
Yeah.
need
What this Back to the Future one intrigues me. What is it?
I was just rewatching Back to the Future for, I guess, probably the 800th time the other week, and there's a scene, the scene where Marty, like, it's at the dance, and the band is smoking in the car, and Marty gets locked in the trunk. One of the band members is named Lorenzo, and they keep talking about Lorenzo, and Lorenzo's locked the keys in the trunk. And I was like, ooh, maybe it's some cool, like, if Marty hadn't gone back in time and invented Chuck Berry's rock and roll, what musical world would we live in? Some alternate history thing where Lorenzo's music took over instead of Marty McFly's, you know?
You put way more thought into that than I did. I
I
basically
overthink
came
things a
home
lot.
and on Nick at Night, Bob Newhart's show was playing, the credits were rolling, and it said Lorenzo Music, and I said that would be a cool band name. And that's really how it came about. So, but I like yours is nice and elaborate. I like that one. I wish I would have thought of that.
You can tweak it as much as you'd like.
All right, all right. I'm gonna add that to my history when people ask me the etymology of the song. See, there I go. I use the word etymology.
That's good.
So thank you for talking with me today. That was, I mean, it was so cool of you to do that remix.
Great talking to you, Tom.